Okay, so what I have here is the Roban or RotorScale UH-1D Huey. You know, I've had this for a little while, flown it a bit. It's been it's a GPS assisted helicopter. It's been really fun to fly. So I'd like to go over it again and you know, show you what it does. So come over here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on the transmitter that comes with it, and what we're going to do is we're going to make certain that all of the switches are in the up position, and we're going to push both buttons and they come on. And then the first thing we're going to do is we need to take this, and they already have the transmitter label for you. We're going to turn it from run to cut, and then we can power on the helicopter. So we're going to flow over here. I already have the battery sitting in here. I'm in the southeast United States, and it gets really hot, and right now it's about 93 degrees outside. So I don't put the windows in, so that way there can be some airflow. But here's the GPS, and when we plug it in, we have to let the satellites lock on. So we're going to have these little lights that are going to blink, and it needs to be, for it to lock in, it needs to go green before we can do anything with it. Now I get about anywhere from, I guess, 9-10 minutes of flight time on it. So we're going to plug it in, make sure it's in the cut position. All right. And so if we come right here, we look at the lights, it's initializing. Right now it's blue, red. Okay, so we're going to wait until it goes green. Sometimes it seems like it's going to be hard to tell because it seems like a bluish green, but it'll turn green. And so the functionality that the Huey has is you get these little buttons on the back that can change the LED blinking lights. And so you just push the buttons and they can change the different blinking sequence. And I'll just make it solid while we're waiting for it to lock on. And sometimes this can take anywhere from 4 or 5 minutes. But once it locks on at the field that you're at, it doesn't normally take as long after that. Okay, so now you see it blinking green, so the satellites are locked. So we're going to put the cover around it, and we're going to go and we're going to fly it. So the GPS mode is ready. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to fly it in 2 modes. I'm going to fly it in GPS mode, and I'm going to fly it in angle mode. And when we fly it in angle mode, it'll limit the bank angle, but you have to fly it because you'll crash it. So when I mean by limit the bank angle is meaning that it won't roll, it won't loop or anything. But first we're going to fly it in GPS mode. And so to start it, we have to leave it in cut, and we're going to bring it down and to the right for a few seconds, and we'll bring it up, flip it into run, and then it's going to start spinning. Now we want to slowly let it spool up, because if you just let it jump up, it'll just jump straight up into the air. So we're just going to slowly bring it up. Try to let it be scale when it goes up into the air. There you go. Still kind of try to jump up. So right now it's in GPS mode. And what that means is that the GPS has it so it's flying like a drone. So if you look at me, I'm not even doing anything, so it's just locked on, flying itself. So let's just kind of let it fly around like a drone right now. This is actually good leaving in GPS mode if you're wanting to learn how to actually fly a helicopter or RC helicopter, because you want to develop that muscle memory for your brain on the orientation of RC helicopters, because RC helicopters are kind of hard to fly. You want to learn how to hover in all orientations. If you're not experienced at flying RC helicopters, and you try to even just put it into angle mode and try to hover in different orientations, you're going to crash. So if you have no experience, leave it in GPS mode. Right now we're going to stay in GPS mode. I'm just going to fly it around here for a minute. And you can have a lot of fun with it, just keeping it in GPS mode, and this may be all you want to do. You fly it. And that's fine. GPS mode, you can practice some scale flying, some scale maneuvers. This is the UH-1D model used during the Vietnam War. The UH-1D, you can see here the rocket launcher and guns. UH-1D didn't have them, they might have. And also, you can see mine has a Maiden Flight. Vietnam UH-1D did not have a lot of flight. I have all mine. One of my YouTube subscribers was kind enough to mail me some of his. And I think it'll be shocked. So I'm going to go over here a little bit, and we're going to demonstrate the return to home function. And the return to home function, you don't want to be around any trees or anything like that, because what it's going to do is it'll immediately shoot up like 15, 20 feet. So if you're around trees or buildings or anything like that, you'll hit the front. So I'm going to hit the return to home. You see how it shoots up? Now I have no control of it right now. Well, I can. So it'll get close to where you took off from. If it's not exactly where you want it, you do have left and right control. You can see it's still coming home, but I'm fine tuning it. Look at that. So it's doing return to home, but I'm Trying to bring it back to my pad. All right, I'm gonna return the home off. Okay, I'm gonna do cut because it turned itself off. All right, so before we put it in angle mode, we're gonna start it in GPS mode. So that way if we had any issues, we could flip it back into GPS mode. So it'd be kind of like a safe. All right, so I'm gonna put this back on here. Hold it down to the right. There we go. All right, I'm going to flip it into angle mode. Now I'm going to be the one flying this. So the difference between angle mode and manual mode is that the bank angles are limited, meaning that it won't roll and it won't loop or anything like that, but you really don't want to roll or loop a scale fuselage or scale model. And now we have no dependency on the GPS now. This is where all the practice and hover orientation, this is where it all comes into play. Nice gust come up on us. I just got a raindrop. See, we got a nice little gust. This little helicopter handles the wind really nice. problem flying this again this time in angle mode. Nice rough landing. All right, set her off. All right, so it's a nice little helicopter. So you can do a lot with it. I mean, you can, if you just want to fly it in GPS mode and that's all. If you just want to fly it like that, like it's a drone, or if you want to start using it to start learning your muscle memory for just hovering and learning orientation and getting learning like that, and then graduating into flying into angle mode where you can limit your bank angle. It can grow with you, and all of those RotorScale or Roban helicopters like this is 470 size are good for this. I do recommend, if you want to get more into RC helis, to go into flight simulator, something like Real Flight, or something like that. But all right, thank you for watching.